Level 1. Seaman First Class. You skip the bottom 2 rungs of the United States Navy the second you put down your pencil. Every other recruit entering naval service in World War II starts as an apprentice seaman at $50 a month, chipping paint and swabbing decks. You don't. Because you passed the radio technician selection test, known across the fleet as the Eddy Test. You are sworn in directly as a Seaman First Class. That single exam, packed with advanced algebra, trigonometry, and circuit theory, buys you a monthly paycheck of $66 and sends you straight to pre-radio school in Chicago. Popular memory assumes radar in World War II was just someone staring into a glowing green scope. That was the radar man. You are a radio technician. You don't hunt enemy ships on the glass. You keep the lethal, temperamental machinery behind that glass from burning out. The Navy needs thousands of men who understand vacuum tubes, and they need them yesterday. For the next 10 months, your life is divided into 3 unrelenting phases. 3 weeks of pre-radio mathematics, 3 months of primary school drilling alternating current theory, and 5 months of secondary school at an advanced naval laboratory. If you fail a single weekly exam, the Navy doesn't tutor you. They reclassify you to the general fleet to scrape barnacles. Your constant companion in the lab is a long wooden dowel with a copper hook wired to a braided ground strap. It's called a shorting stick. On your first afternoon working around live pulse generators, an instructor forces you to touch that hook to every filter capacitor terminal before your bare fingers go anywhere near the chassis. The lesson is immediate. In this rating, the technology will kill you long before the enemy ever gets a shot. Level 2. Radio Technician Third Class. You sew a petty officer's eagle and a single red chevron onto your left sleeve, with 4 jagged lightning bolts radiating from a center spark. You are 19 years old, and you now outrank most of the deck force. Graduating secondary school automatically makes you a third-class petty officer. You are assigned to a newly commissioned destroyer, and your world shrinks to a windowless, unventilated steel closet below the main deck, the radar transmitter room. Inside this space sits the master oscillator and high-voltage power supply for the ship's primary search radar. The air smells permanently of hot ozone, baking transformer enamel, and toxic vapor from giant mercury arc rectifier tubes. When the transmitter pulses, it steps shipboard line voltage up to 15,000 volts, enough electrical pressure to bridge across open air and stop a human heart instantaneously. This is where you learn the cardinal rule of the fleet's electronics core, the one hand in the pocket doctrine. Whenever you probe an open, energized circuit with a voltmeter lead, your left hand remains shoved deep into your denim dungaree pocket. If 15,000 volts enters your right hand and your left hand is touching the steel ship frame, the current shoots straight across your chest and ruptures your cardiac tissue. If your left hand is in your pocket, the shock blows out through your boots instead. You never trust the bleeder resistors designed to automatically drain those high-voltage filter pack capacitors. When the master switch is killed, bleeder resistors burn out without warning. Every single time the power shuts down, you grab your shorting stick and jam the brass hook against the high-voltage bus bar. When a bright blue arc snaps against the metal, you know the charge that just evaporated was meant for your chest. Level 3. Radio Technician, Second Class. A second chevron joins your sleeve, and with it comes the crushing reality of a 24-hour combat watch rotation. At sea in the Pacific, a warship does not turn off its microwave eyes. You are assigned to maintain the SG surface search radar, the revolutionary 10-centimeter microwave system that lets the bridge see enemy hulls through pitch darkness. At the center of that system sits the British-designed cavity magnetron. It is classified so far above normal naval ordnance that your maintenance manuals are locked in lead-lined safes designed to sink to the bottom of the ocean if the ship is abandoned. If an enemy boarding party threatens the vessel, your standing orders are to smash the magnetron with a sledgehammer and dump its copper body into deep water. Your 24-hour day is a continuous sprint against tropical moisture. Salt spray constantly coats the hollow brass waveguides running up the mast. If sea air corrodes the interior plating of those waveguides, the microwave energy reflects backward into the transmitter, overheating the magnetron and blinding the entire combat team. At 0200, the bridge telephone rings. The radarman in the Combat Information Center reports that the surface sweep has dissolved into blinding electronic snow. You have 12 minutes to diagnose the fault before the ship enters an unmonitored strait. Working by the dim red glow of a battle lantern, you test vacuum tube filaments one by one, checking for cracked glass, leaking mercury rectifiers, and drifted bias voltages. You don't have time to wait for the transformer coils to cool down. You work blistered and sweating, knowing that if you misread a single schematic line, 2,000 men on board are sailing completely blind. Level 4. Radio Technician First Class. With 3 chevrons on your arm, you are the leading technician aboard your vessel. You no longer just swap tubes. You handle structural casualties under incoming fire. During surface engagements and air attacks, the shockwaves from your own 5-inch guns are as dangerous to the radar gear as enemy shells. Gun concussions shatter fragile glass vacuum envelopes, shake calibration potentiometers out of alignment, and shear gear teeth in the mast antenna drive motors. When the antenna array 50 feet above the deck jams mid-sweep during an active kamikaze attack, you don't stay in the transmitter room. You strap on a canvas tool belt, grab a spare servo motor, and climb the swaying steel ladder of the mainmast in heavy sea swells. With the ship executing radical 30-knot evasive maneuvers, you hang over open water, with one arm hooked through the lattice rung. Wind and funnel smoke tear at your goggles while you manually loosen frozen mounting bolts and realign the drive synchros. One slip drops you 50 feet onto the steel superstructure. But until that antenna spins again, the fire control directors below cannot lay the ship's anti-aircraft batteries onto incoming bogies. You finish the torque sequence, signal the bridge, and watch the massive parabolic reflector lurch back to life. Climbing back down to the deck with salt-stung hands, you realize your job isn't technical theory anymore. It's combat engineering under direct fire. Level 5. Chief Radio Technician. You put on the khaki uniform, gold-foiled anchor cap device, and the black petty officer coat of a chief. In the hierarchy of naval electronics, you are the ultimate technical authority afloat. As Chief Radio Technician, you supervise the maintenance of every electronic system on board: air search radar, surface search radar, IFF transponders, gunnery fire control sets, and high-frequency communications gear. You manage a workshop of junior technicians who were high school students 6 months ago. Your primary enemy is no longer just high voltage, it's logistical starvation. In forward staging areas across the Western Pacific, replacement magnetrons, klystrons, and specialized mica capacitors take months to arrive. When a critical radar tube burns out and the supply tender has no spares, you don't submit an administrative requisition. You cannibalize components from damaged landing craft, build custom impedance matching networks from scrap wire, and teach your strikers how to rewind blown transformer bobbins by hand. When fleet staff officers come aboard to inspect the ship's combat readiness, they don't speak to the ensigns. They come directly to your electronics repair shop. They know that an aircraft carrier or battleship with 12,000 tons of armor is completely helpless in modern naval warfare if your team can't keep the electronic pulses radiating into the sky. Level 6. Warrant Radio Electrician. At the top of the wartime electronics ladder stands appointment to warrant officer as a radio electrician, bridging the gap between enlisted technical mastery and commissioned command. You are no longer turning screwdrivers. You are coordinating radar doctrine and electronics supply chains for entire task forces. When the war concludes in August 1945, the Navy reorganizes the rating into electronic technician's mate, finally recognizing that your discipline had expanded far beyond simple radio. But the vast majority of wartime technicians don't stay for 30 years of service. When thousands of demobilized radio technicians return to civilian life, they carry an education that didn't exist anywhere else in the world. 10 intensive months of high-frequency theory, microwave physics, and digital pulse circuitry. These veterans walk directly out of naval discharge centers and into the founding laboratories of television networks, microwave telecommunications, computing corporations, and early semiconductor research. The exact skills that kept an SG radar pulsing in the Philippine Sea become the technical foundation for the entire post-war electronics boom. The next time you see a World War II documentary, remember, the men winning those night battles weren't just the operators watching the green screens. They were the teenagers in the shadows, with their left hands stuffed into their pockets, holding off 15,000 volts with a wooden stick. Which misunderstood military rating should we break down next? Let us know in the comments.